Hello everybody and welcome to another edition of Pottyboy Plays. Now today, your host Pottyboy is going to be playing Bombjack on the Commodore 64. Now a couple of guys over at the Retro Asylum have done videos of this game on other systems. Well, I know Malk's done a video of this one, and Will, aka the Asperger's Gamer 64, aka Mr. Gamer 1 here on YouTube. He's done a video of the Spectrum version of the game. Now I thought, you know what, I'm going to do a video of the Commodore 64 version as well, because I'll tell you something else. This is the version that I grew up with. I remember for years and years I used to play this, and for so many years I used to think that this was the only version of the game. At the time I wasn't even aware that it was available on other systems, including the arcade game. The original arcade version, that is. Now, of course, for those who've never played Bombjack before, basically it's kind of, how shall I describe it? It's kind of like Pac-Man, but it's a platform game, and you have to go and collect bombs instead of pills. The whole premise is the same. You know, collect the bombs and don't touch the baddies. Every now and then, these power pills will come up that you can eat, and they transform into these little things that you can pick up and score score points on. And of course it clears the enemies off the screen as well. Now of course the flashing bombs, if you get them, you'll get a bigger score. And I think there's a big bonus as well if you manage to collect all the bombs in the order that they flash, which is very, very difficult, especially in this version of the game. This is actually the hardest version of the game out there, primarily because this one has bigger sprites than most of the other versions. There is a version of this game for the the Atari 800, I think it is, or one of the Atari computers. But it's loosely based on this version. But yeah, what made this version the most challenging version was because of the bigger sprites and the bigger graphics and stuff. Which, in a way, I mean, in some ways it can be it can work as a bit of a disadvantage, but in some ways it does make the game more challenging. Because the game, although yes it is harder than the other versions, but it's not impossible. You can actually get quite a few rounds in with this one. Now of course, the original arcade game was released by Tecmo back in 1984. I think it was. I don't think it was quite Tecmo. I think it might be. I think it was Tecmo. Yeah. It was anyway. It was released back in the arcades back in 1984, and it proved to be really popular. That Elite Systems snapped up the rights to convert the game to various platforms, and of course, the most notable versions being the Commodore 64, Spectrum, and the Amstrad as well. There were, of course, the versions for the Atari ST and the Amiga. The Atari ST version I've never played. Well, I say now, I've never played the Amstrad CPC version, but I have played, obviously, this one. I've also played the Spectrum one and the Amiga one as well. And the Spectrum version is really good. I was really quite impressed with that version. There's no music during the game, but it's very impressive, and it's a surprisingly decent port. The Amiga version, however, is just it's terrible. I don't even want to talk about it really. I should do a Tears review on that one, but you're not going to get. I'm not going to get this one. I'm not going to give it a good review. But anyway, Commodore. I'll talk properly in a second. Commodore 64 version of Bombjack is the version I grew up with, and I absolutely loved it to bits. I think the overall present. I think they graphically, obviously, the sprites are chunky, but they're really detailed. They make good. They make good use of the Commodore 64 graphics hardware. I mean, obviously, as usual with the Commodore 64, the colours are a bit dull, or choose a really colour palette. The music is absolutely superb, done by Mark Cooksey. It's actually a loose cover of Magnetic Fields, and it's just absolutely fantastic. It's easily the best thing about this game is definitely the music. I mean, it's what you come to expect from the Commodore 64, but this is one of the best tunes I've ever heard. And in terms of the gameplay, it's very challenging because the large sprites. But yeah, all in all, it makes for a pretty decent and challenging game. And well, I've come to the end of the video, guys. That's it. This is my Bombjack review, all done and dusted. This is a wonderful little game, and it's really worth tracking down and playing if you haven't. And it's just superb all around. I shall be back soon, guys, with another video. And in the meantime, goodbye for now.